Welcome to the Biannual Strategy Implementation Report training. This training is presented by the Ohio EMA Grants Branch. Disclaimer: this training will provide an overview and advice which are intended only to provide guidance to complete the BSIR report. This training is not comprehensive, and the county or subrecipient is solely responsible for ensuring that the BSIR report is properly completed and that the county or subrecipient is in compliance with all state and federal regulations. The BSIR provides information to FEMA, who in turn provides it to Congress in order to show a snapshot of how federal dollars are being used and spent. It is required to upload information on FEMA grants in particular, so this applies to EMPG, SHSP, LESHSP, UASI, NSGP, and the Stone Garden Program. You can access the system by visiting www.reporting.odp.dhs.gov. Reporting is required twice a year. Though there is no exact date, the BSIR should open not long after the December and June reporting periods. When this happens, the Ohio EMA Grants Branch will notify all subrecipients by email that it is open, the date that it is due, and what years are required for reporting. This is FEMA's reporting tool to Congress to show the feasibility and effectiveness of the grant funds you receive from the federal government. This will be monitored and may also be audited. As a quick side note, be sure to save early and often when inputting your information, as the system times out after a short period. For new users who have not used the BSIR yet, please visit www.reporting.odp.dhs.gov and click on the Register for an Account button. Complete all the required forms for user information and click Next. Then, complete your role and organization assignment by selecting Local and select your jurisdiction and click the arrow box to move it to the right side indicating Requested Grantee. Then click Next. Set up your username and password. Be sure to write it down, and then click Submit. Be sure to let your grants specialist know that you have completed the request, as they will have to approve the account and may not receive a communication that they have received it. After logging into the BSIR the first time, there will be a list of disclaimers. Read through these and click to accept. Once you have logged in, the Welcome page has a list of guidance and overview documents. Click the View button to review these materials if you choose. The User's Guide is 150 pages. When you are ready to enter your report, click the Funding tab on the left-hand side. Note that you are now in the Recipients tab at the top. You will progress through these tabs to the right as this report is completed. Next, ensure that you select the proper grant year. If you are reporting for multiple grant years, then you can navigate back to this page by choosing the Funding tab and selecting a different year from the drop-down box. Also, ensure the reporting period is correct for the current period. When the proper selection has been made, click your jurisdiction's name and continue. Now you find yourself in the Award tab. This tab shows the full amount of federal funding you've received from FEMA, how much you have obligated or spent without being reimbursed, and how much you have expended or how much you have been reimbursed by federal funds. you should only be able to change the obligated amount, as the expended amount will populate based on what you put in the next slides. Note, if there are any issues with the award amounts in this tab, please contact your grant specialist. When you are finished reviewing this tab, click Save and Continue in the bottom right. Now you are in the Project tab. All of the individual projects under each grant will be listed out by line item here. From this tab, you will be able to update an existing project, create a new project if necessary, and submit all of your projects. The notice sent to your department should advise you of the necessary grant years to report into the BSIR. Click on the project title to edit your projects. As a note, if the subgrantee self-check box in the top right is red or shows error, then the project total does not equal the amount awarded to your jurisdiction and your projects must be fixed. To enter a new grant project or award, click on the drop-down box next to Project View and select Create Project. Enter the title, choose a project type, enter a project location or a zip code, and complete the project description. For EMPG, this should be a general overview of how you intend to use the funding for the preparedness of your community. And for most other grants, the description should match what is included in your grant application. This should include a breakdown of what expenses are included within the project. Then, when you are finished, click the Create Project button. Whether updating existing projects or creating new projects, the same information is required. In the Project tab, click on the project title of the project you wish to edit. When you open this project, you will see the information that was previously uploaded. Moving to the Project $sign tab. This tab explains how much federal grant money is tied to this project and how much progress you have made in spending the grant award toward completion of your project. Ensure the project information is correct in the first gray box. Then update the award amount and expended amounts for this specific project in the correct grant row in the purple box. When you have completed this, click Save and Continue. Now you find yourself in the Project Detail tab. The goal of this page is to show what you have done so far in the grant period. Select the most accurate option for the drop-down boxes next to Core Capability, Capabilities Building, Deployable, Shareable, Project Status, and Does this require new construction? The start and end date should be the beginning and end date on your grant agreement. Please make sure that this matches the format provided in the form. Lastly, please upload milestones to explain what has been completed so far by clicking Add New Milestone and clicking the checkbox for those which have been completed. Be sure when you're adding milestones to put an anticipated date that they will be completed. Now you're in the Allocations tab. This tab is strictly based on the total budget for the award. That means, unless you deobligate money or gain additional grant money for this project, it is usually not necessary to change the amounts on this page. However, when you are making edits to the allocated amounts in this tab, first choose the appropriate solution area in the drop-down box at the top. Then scroll down and choose the most appropriate subcategory and discipline, and list the full amount for that project next to that line. For the project in this example, because it had both an equipment and training piece, you would separate these into different categories as shown. Next, Before you submit your projects to the SAA or the state, please be sure that all the self-checks are green. You can diagnose a problem using the Self-Check View dropdown. Choosing the grant program in the dropdown will show if the projects that have been created add up to the total amount that was given in the grant award. In this case, we have exceeded the total grant amount, and that is why it is showing a red error message. Choosing the solution area in the dropdown shows if the amount in the Allocations tab within each of the projects add up to the total award. Choosing the project validation in the dropdown shows what tab information may still be missing in the forms. If you continue to have issues, please contact your grant specialist. Now to submit your projects. When your self-checks are all green and indicate that they are okay, you are ready to submit. Click the checkboxes next to the project title for all projects and click the Submit button in the bottom left. The project status column should change from Data Entry in Progress to Project Submitted. Click the checkbox and hit Submit again to submit all projects to the SAA or to the state at the same time. Don't forget, the BSIR report must be completed for each grant year that you receive in your email from the Ohio EMA Grants Branch. If you have any questions, please contact your Ohio EMA Grants Specialist.